Oh, this is going out to Lily. We miss you, Grandma Lily. We miss you and the Resurrection Ranch. We miss the fact that Grace was someday gonna be built up to be Amazing Grace. We believe that it would be in short order. But we do miss you, Grandma Lily. And Grandma Lily, we know what you're thinking. We know exactly what you're thinking. What kind of son? What kind of slug of a son did I birth? We know what you're thinking, Grandma Lily. We know that a slug, when it's referred to a person, it implies that the person is lazy and slow. And so we know you're thinking, what kind of slug of a son did I raise? And so this goes out to you, Grandma Lily, derived from Princess When Doves Cry. But of course, in my coach's case, in y'all's pastor's case, we're going to refer to this one as When Slugs Lie. This is When Slugs Lie. Yeah, you can go ahead and turn that up. I got it right here. It's right here. Turn it up. You got grandma's anger all tied up. Don't make her hate you. Even moms have pride. How could you just leave her stranded, alone in her house in the cold? Maybe you're too busy scamming. Maybe you're just like your mama, too cold. Yeah, too cold. With no hot water and no heat, too cold. Maybe you dislike your mama. She won't tell all those lies. Why would you demean your mother? This is what it sounds like when slugs lie. Boom, 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 boom. 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 All right. Enough of that. When slugs lie. It's not enough being a slug, but what happens when you have a slug that lies daily, hourly, by the moment? When slugs lie. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, dum, dum. When you have slugs that lie, what you wind up with is my coach. Y'all's pastor. But all right. Before I give my reaction to the recent IAG Farms video about having trash hauled away, and I'm like, oh, finally declared the entire IAG farm, the former IAG farm, somebody finally declared it as being a trash heap, declared that it's unsuitable, declared that it needs to be torn down and dragged away. Somebody finally declared it as being one big burn pile. That only thing that it needs is some burning. But of course, you guys know I'm prone to get clickbaited. They were not talking about hauling away and demolishing the entire former IAG farm. They were talking about getting some of the various trash heaps, some of the various trash piles, some of the various mess piles and mess collections around the farm finally hauled away. But before I get into my reaction, I want to shoot out some recognition to those of you guys that have been active in the comments. Keep that commentary flowing. Keep that dialogue going both ways. Of course, I do have to recognize you heavy. No, we're not doing heavy today. You woeful Tim worshipers. Yes, I have to recognize you woeful Tim worshipers. I see you guys in the comments. I hear you guys in the comments talking about Captain, some Captain you are. And they're like, Captain, your videos do not reflect Jesus. When I look at your videos, Captain, when I look at all of your videos, Captain, when I look at every last one of your videos, Captain, when I'm not busy following, when I'm not busy stalking my pastor, when you guys are not busy stalking your pastor, remember he's my coach, but when you guys are not busy, you guys find the time to watch all of my videos, and you're like, Captain, your videos do not reflect Jesus. And I'm like, okay, clearly you missed a few videos. But oh, by the way, this channel is not the IAJ channel. This is not the All About Jesus channel. Okay? So let's keep that straight. This is the end game. But now, I do understand why you guys should be holding your pastor accountable, though. His channel is called IAG. His channel is referred to as All About God, the All About God channel. And I do feel that you guys should be holding him accountable. Okay? When he's doing these truck tours, when he's doing these car wash visits, when he's showing you guys how to smoke sausage, and you guys are tuned in and taking notes, you guys should ask him, what does that have to do with God? And don't let him off by saying that everything has to do with God, all right? When he veers off, and lately he's been veered for weeks/months, but when he veers off into these other subjects, I don't know if it's months, maybe years, but when he's been veered and the channel is supposedly all about God, you guys should hold him accountable. Don't be coming to me talking about, Captain, your channel doesn't reflect Jesus. I'm like, yo, you guys are wilding in the comments. But I hear you guys. And in the meantime, I'm digressing. Welcome back. Welcome back to the end game, where today I'm going to review. Actually, I'm going to respond, give my reaction. I'm going to give my reaction to the recent IAG Farms video where they talk about finally getting some of the trash. Some, and I mean some of the trash. Because you're going to see some before and after shots, and you're going to say, hey, we see a difference, but we still see trash. But I'm going to react to that video here. Early in the video, we see Megan working in the homeschool. We see her working diligently in the homeschool. And so I have to ask the question for those of you guys out there that are more knowledgeable than me when it comes to education and when it comes to teaching. What certified teacher, and I mean certified, what certified teacher do you know that can handle 3 separate grade levels? 3 separate grade levels simultaneously. Okay? What certified? And oh, by the way, obviously Megan is not certified. We talked about this in the past. We've talked about it frequently, but it would be a challenge, enough of a challenge for her just to manage 1 grade level in a homeschool setting. How in the world could Tim, y'all's pastor, if he cared, but how could you or anyone else expect that she would be able to be successful in generating lesson plans and educating 3 different grade levels simultaneously? At least if she broke the boys off and did them separately or individually, you could say, okay, she could attack the different grade levels. Okay, 1 at a time. But how in the world could we ever expect success trying to do it simultaneously? And oh, by the way, we also see a 4th student. We see a 4th student in the homeschool room. And of course, that 4th student is little Benjamin. Little Benjamin is watching and learning. Okay, he might not be getting direct instruction, but he's watching and he's learning. So she actually has 4 students. She actually has 4 students in the room with her. Because, oh, by the way, while Tim is off filming or working on these minimal projects, or off at the gym doing his supposed daily workouts, or off doing whatever he does during the day at his own desire, Megan still has to nurture. She still has to watch over, and she still has to care for little Benjamin, even during homeschooling. And we're like, holy moly, holy moly. Does Megan ever get a break? But we see during homeschool, it looks a little bit staged. It looks a little bit scripted. But Tim is there to do the filming. Megan is there to do the teaching and the instructing and the babysitting. and Tim is there to do the filming. And we're like, okay, Tim. So now clearly everyone in the room is working. Little Benjamin is doing a little bit less work. And Tim, of course, you're doing the least amount of work in the room. Should be no surprise to us. Always the one doing the least amount of work. The one who claims he's the most busiest is always, for one reason or another, he's always the one doing the least amount of work. But that's my coach.
Your words in the middle.
Somewhere
So these were this way.
inside a state of mind where nothing is really
That was
making
going out,
sense.
right? But you're gonna
That's why
hug.
I've been left here on the
These
ground.
are gonna go this way when you start, and then these are gonna go this way, right?
Sister,
If they went the other way, see how they're going out?
They're going the opposite.
Right, right. So you're gonna make sure when you do your quote that you're hugging the word on the side. These beginning quotes go this way, and then a closing quote
I'm trapped in
go
dark.
that way. And your words, remember,
Life
you
has
gotta hug the words, okay?
back on me, it would seem.
Yes.
Brother, help me up, I've fallen down. Brother, help me up, I've fallen down.
Do it right.
Yep. You can start whatever Mama said. Once you do these beginning quotes, that's when you put.
Later in the video, we're introduced to Cook, one of Tim's former prison mates. We're introduced to Cook because he's an entrepreneur and apparently he does junk removal. I guess they were looking for some scrap metal and they saw all those trash heaps. They can see all those trash heaps from the road, and they said, surely there must be something of value in those trash heaps. Do you guys mind if we take away some of your scrap metal or some of your scrap freezers or refrigerators or some of the other trash? Because clearly there's a whole bunch of trash up in here. But we're introduced to Cook. Tim talks about how he recognized the guy. He didn't remember the guy's name, but he knows what an ex-convict looks like when he sees one. Considering that he sees one when he looks in the mirror every day. That's not a slight. Tim acknowledges that he has a criminal past. What he doesn't acknowledge is that he may or may not have a criminal present. But we get a shot of Tim. He's talking to Cook about his businesses and what services he offers. And once again, Tim withholds the guy's contact information. Once again. Tim implies that, okay, if he gives out the guy's phone number, then us viewers, we're going to blow up Cook's phone for no apparent reason. I'm like, all right, Tim. All right, Tim. Some of us need work done. But Tim, once again, withholds the guy's information. He holds the guy's information hostage. You heavy Tim followers, if you want to get in contact with Cook for some trash removal or some handyman work or some painting, you're going to have to go through your pastor, Tim. You're going to have to email your pastor, Tim, in order to get through to Cook. Of course, some of us more observant viewers, we know that this is just Tim's way of squeezing the potential contractor a little bit, offering to give the contractor some publicity in exchange for a price break, of course. In exchange for getting a more favorable price, he offers to advertise the guy's business. But we do get a shot of Tim standing next to Cook, and we're like, oh, now if that is not the picture of rehabilitation, if that is not a beautiful picture, seeing both of these gentlemen standing next together, we get to see what true rehabilitation looks like in the face of Cook. Yes. So we see a gentleman who apparently is on the right path, toward fully rebuilding his life. Tim vouches for him, although later on in the video, Tim implies that things may not have gone completely as Tim expected. But Tim, we see the perfect picture of rehabilitation. And Tim, we just want to encourage you, Tim. It's not too late for you, Tim. Coach, it's not too late. You too can turn your life around and be more like Cook.
We're gonna throw it out by the front steps. Y'all come on and haul it away. You know what I'm saying? And it can be a beautiful partnership. But yeah, so it's just amazing, y'all. Like I said, it's just miracles after miracles. And these guys are doing a good job. And they actually, like I said, they have their own business as well. And so I make sure I put a little screenshot or something like that of their card. I probably leave the email, not his phone number, because I know y'all will be blowing his phone up and won't even want nothing for real. So I leave his email so y'all can email him. And or I'll just y'all can email us and I'll give you the information, you know, if you really want some work done. But they're in the Vicksburg, Mississippi area, and they, you know, do work all in this area. He has a lawn care business, so he cuts grass and things like that. Of course, he hauls stuff away. Other than cutting grass and hauling, what other type of stuff do you do, Cook?
Man, haul stuff, cutting grass, man, paint. We can do it all, man.
Okay, yeah. So
Good handiwork.
A little bit of everything, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, bro.
Yes, sir.
I love it. But yeah, y'all, like I said, if you need any of that type work done and you're around the Jackson, Vicksburg, Clinton, Bolton, you know, somewhere around that area, anywhere, you know, within an hour's range. And if you have a big enough job, like I said, here, you know, go further. Just got to be worth your time. But it's a beautiful thing, y'all. Like I said, I was just sitting there, you know, not even thinking about getting this trash hauled off. But it's a beautiful thing, y'all. Like I said, I was just sitting there, you know, not even thinking about getting this trash hauled off.
All right, so later in the video, Tim hints at the fact that he may be snitching on Cook. He talks about how initially he was going to put an ad out and just have somebody come and they would get the free trailer as long as they hauled the trash with it. He was worried that the person that came to get it might just leave the trash by the roadside, and that will reflect on Tim. Tim admitted that his neighbors are fully aware, they're fully familiar with his trash heaps. And so if that trash was left by the roadside, they would know exactly where it came from. You know? And I'm like, okay, holy moly, what kind of pigsty, what kind of trash heap, what kind of bona fide dump site would you have to have for your neighbors to be fully familiar with every item or enough of the items? But Tim implied, he hinted that he may be snitching on Cook in short order. He hints that there's a video to come, that he's going to be, I guess he's going to be approached by the sheriff. I guess we can kind of see the writing on the wall. And I'm like, okay, Tim, all right, Tim. We know you don't have a problem snitching on your neighbors. But there is a saying in the streets, Tim, and you used to be of the streets. Cook well, I wouldn't even say Cook is probably a little bit closer to the streets, than you are these days, with you being locked away and tucked away at the farm. But there's a saying about snitches getting stitches. So Tim, okay, we saw you snitch on the postal worker. We saw you snitch on your neighbor with that goat. And please, Tim, is there no one that is spared the snitching from your camera? Is there no one that gets spared, Tim? Say it ain't so, Tim. You're not going to get, please tell us you're not going to get Cook also. Come on, Coach.
Once they get that big refrigerator out of the way, it's actually not a lot left. Like I said, it's just small stuff. And it looked pretty intimidating. But like I said, once you get all those big things out of the way and start knocking a chunk in it, knocking a dent in it, it don't look that bad. And I actually thought about just telling somebody, just putting it on a Facebook marketplace or something like that, advertising and just saying, hey, if somebody come get this load, they can have a trailer too. Just hook up to the trailer and pull it off. But I was scared to do that because I was scared that they were gonna pull off the property with the trailer and I was gonna drive down the road and see all this trash on the side of the road, that they were just gonna throw all the trash on the side of the road. That they were just gonna throw all the trash on the side of the road.
That they were just gonna throw all the trash on the side of the road.
you know. So I figured that it was best if I got some working men, like with a company, with a business mind, you know, they wanted to like keep their reputation up, not just somebody that want a free trailer, you know, to come do it. But because I didn't want my neighbors, because all my neighbors know that this is my junk pile here. And if they saw all this stuff on the side of the road, they'd be thinking I threw it out there. I don't want to mess up my reputation either. I don't want to mess up my reputation.
Later on in the video, Tim introduces us to the concept of purposeful junk. Now, if that's not a double negative, okay? If that's not some type of oxymoron, if that's not some massive contradiction of terms, purposeful junk, Tim, come on, Tim. I know that you're heavy Tim followers. They look forward to you interpreting Bible verses for them. They look forward to you translating the scripture for them, and whatever translation you pull out of your big hole is what they go with. But holy moly, purposeful junk. That's a full contradiction of terms, Tim. And I'm like, okay, Tim, I understand what you're headed for. I understand what you're getting at with this. You share with us the fact that you have multiple. I mean, those of us that have been watching, we know that it's multiple junk piles, but you finally admit that there's a multitude of junk piles. And considering that you guys are pretty quick to name any and everything around the farm, we're sure that you have a name for each and every one of those trash heaps. It's kind of like you named that shed shack Ernest. When you really should have named it Honest. Now, if you had named it Honest, then maybe that would have kept you focused on the word. Maybe that would have given you some direction in life, some daily direction and a daily reminder to keep it honest, Tim, okay? We know it's not easy, but try to mix in a little bit of truth with all of these mistruths. Try to mix in a little bit of truth with these various tall tales and these various white lies that emanate from you. But we understand that you have names for everything. For those of you guys that are new viewers, that farm that they tend to, that space that they tend to is actually called IAG Farms. And imagine if they had a purposeful name to go with the wasteland. And considering that it's a wasteland and not really all about God, they would have been really more just in calling it the Wasteland Farms. But that's for you viewers. The rest of us, we understand. We understand what the purpose was for tagging it as being IAG Farms. We understand, my coach.
And now we don't have to be like the those people in the neighborhood. They got a big old trash pile right at the front, because the way that our property is set up is longer than it is wide. So we try to keep all our trash, you know, in this area up here. But this area up here just so happens to be the part by the road. The entrance,
you know?
right.
It's kind of like, don't look on this side when you come down the driveway.
Yeah, just
Don't look on this side when you come down the driveway.
yeah, just look on the other side.
We have a beautiful pond on this side.
That's right.
Like, just close your eyes if you're looking this way.
Mm-hmm.
But nah,
Y'all come over there, boys, for the dog scare up a snake. Mm-hmm.
Now it's clear and clean, and you know we don't have to be ashamed about this side, this part of the
You
property.
can look at both sides now. Real. But yeah, this trailer, like, look at the tires. The tires are still aired up. I can get in here and pull this thing out. Oh yeah, look at that. Good tires.
Yeah, all we need to do is put a new frame on this thing. Yeah, or we can
Well,
take
new axles. I got a pretty good frame.
or we
It's
can
metal.
take off the frame, flip it over and weld some pieces of metal together. Then we can just put it back on the wheels and we can have a new trailer. And
Sounds good.
brand
Well,
it.
this is y'all's trailer.
Near the end of the video, Tim shows us the various trash sites. He shows us the after shots after the junk removal has been completed, or almost completed. But he shows us the after shots of where the various trash heaps were. Of course, he doesn't show us any of the trash heaps that are still existing, but it's still cluttered with trash. And he informs us that he's going to be leaving the boys a legacy of love, a legacy of trash. He informs us that he's promised the boys that he's going to leave them that trailer, that broken down, raggedy old trailer. Just like his father left the trailer to him and allowed Tim just to pull it out of the thicket and pull it out of the brush. And Tim hitched up his truck to it and hauled it away. The only difference is that my coach, y'all's pastor, his dad knew what he was dealing with when he left that trash. When he allowed Tim to drag that trash out of the brush. But Tim, why in the world would you leave your boys a legacy of trash? Why would you relegate your boys to being farmers forevermore? Why, Tim? Okay, you talk about building entrepreneurs. You talk about these boys being built to be clever, being smart. Why in the world would you relegate them to be farmers, Tim? Why, Tim? Before and after, Tim, once these kids do get on track with their education, you really should want the best for them, Tim. Okay, and working on some fake broken down farm, using some fake broken down equipment, that's generally not what a parent would hope. It's generally not what a parent would aspire for their children to accomplish.
All this hauled off here, and we got some junk over there as well. Like I said, we'll see how much they can get, because we got years of junk piled up around here. And like I said, we're just trying to get this place cleaned up, because we're finna start. Like, we've been focused on working on the inside of our home, and now the inside of our home is almost complete. Like I said, I got to renovate one more bathroom, and then do some caulking and paint of some trim and stuff like that. Like I said, but I did most of everything already. But we're like 80% done with the inside of our house, and we're about to start working on the outside and get it locked in so that we can accomplish some of our goals over the next 5-6 years. And so we're just trying to get this place cleaned up on the outside so it'll be aesthetically pleasing, on the outside, not for somebody else to see, but for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to be able to walk around the property and enjoy it, and see just, not see junk laying around. Not see junk laying around. But it's all a process, though, because all of this junk is purposeful junk. You know what I'm saying? It is purposeful junk. You know what I'm saying? It came from like renovating and fixing up stuff and things like that. But let's see, we got another pile right here. And so yeah, this is just all of the junk left over from our city move.
All right, that's it for my reaction to that recent IAG Farms video where Tim talks about hauling some of the trash away. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Chop it up in the comments. Burner Tim and the heavies, I expect to see you guys in the comments doing what you do as usual. I want to shoot out some love to my current subscribers. Thank you for showing me that love. For those viewers that have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing so that we can continue to shine that light. Until next time.